Hello, you guys! Thank you so much for clicking on this video and welcome to this routine stance. And today, the topic of our video is discourse and cohesion. So, what are we going to learn today? How to connect your ideas fluently and logically across sentences and paragraphs. We're going to learn 12 key vocabulary words with phonetics, some grammar, discourse markers for addition, contrast, result, exemplification, and etc., 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 yeah, and how to make your English flow naturally and professionally. Трішки організаційних моментів. Якщо ви захочете знайти цей воркшіт з додатковими завданнями, то ви можете його знайти в нашому телеграм-каналі The 13 Stance. І всі наші соцмережі так само називаються. Або якщо у вас є зараз змога відсканувати QR-код на екрані і перейти за посиланнячком на наш телеграм-канал, робіть це, і там ви зможете знайти файлик для цього уроку. Well, so let's start, you guys. Let's start with the vocabulary. The first one, furthermore. Furthermore basically means in addition, or like what is more, and it is quite formal. For example, the report was late. Furthermore, it contained errors. The next one is nevertheless. Nevertheless, it is despite what was just said. However, the task was difficult. Nevertheless, she completed it. Yeah, but like the task was difficult, but she completed it. So like, that's okay. Consequently, it's a result or therefore. So he missed the deadline. Consequently, the project was delayed. So basically, as a result, the project was delayed. Yeah. In contrast, we use in contrast when we want to compare two opposite things. Yeah. So in contrast to last year, sales have improved significantly. Why not? For instance, for example, several factors matter. For instance, timing is crucial. With regard to, concerning, relating to, which is quite a formal version of those two. With regard to your application, we have a few questions. As a result, you already know as a result, yeah? Because of something, consequently. She trained hard. As a result, she won competition. Whereas, yeah? While on the other hand, by contrast, he prefers formal writing, whereas she writes conversationally, yeah? In turn, as a consequence, one after another. So, better communication leads to trust, which in turn improves results. Notwithstanding, it sounds a little bit mouthful and it looks a little bit mouthful, but that's basically notwithstanding. Despite, in spite of, but that's very formal, extremely formal. Good writing oh my god, I'm not looking at the correct example. So notwithstanding the challenges, the team succeeded, right? The next two, coherence and cohesion. They're a bit similar, but they're actually a bit different. Coherence is a logical and clear connection of your ideas. Good writing requires coherence and clear structure, right? Cohesion, on the other hand, it is the way parts of a text fit together smoothly. So the use of linking words improves cohesion. Yeah? It is a bit difficult to understand. I can get that, yeah? So basically, coherence, it's your underlying logic of your text or of your speech. While cohesion, it's basically the structure, the building blocks of your text or of your speech, yeah? I really hope it's clear. I really hope it is clear. But I have a little pro tip for you. Furthermore and moreover, they are interchangeable. They are the same informal writing. But but furthermore implies an additional point that is even stronger than the previous one. Moreover, it doesn't do that. So you can use it to build an argument. While, of course, you can use it just to add information, but you can also use it to build an argument, yeah? Let's go and talk about some grammar. Discourse markers by function. Here we have 4 main functions: addition, contrast, result, exemplification. So when we want to add something new, add something extra, we can use furthermore, moreover, in addition, what's more. When we want to add some contrast, compare something, yeah? Nevertheless, however, whereas, in contrast, on the other hand. Then when we want to talk about the result of something, so we have an action and we want to talk about the result of this action, it is consequently, therefore, as a result, in turn, or even thus. And exemplification. When we want to add an example, for instance, such as to illustrate. If we are talking about spoken English, you can use them. It doesn't really matter, yeah? But it is also important to keep in mind that sometimes you have to write. And in this case, the punctuation rules are quite important, yeah? First of all, you can use them at the start of the new sentence. For example, the plan failed, the end of the sentence, period, consequently, comma, the team regrouped. You can use them mid-sentence. The plan failed, semicolon, consequently, comma, the team regrouped. Or you can use, for example, whereas or while as connectors. He prefers detail, comma, whereas she focuses on the big picture. After whereas or while, you won't need to use comma, but you will need to use it before, as it is like a distinction, a divider between 2 separate sentences which were connected into one. Yeah? Here you have some modal paragraph. Let's read and analyze it. So, remote work has become increasingly common in modern organizations. Furthermore, many employees report higher levels of productivity when working from home. However, this shift is not without its drawbacks. For instance, some workers struggle with feelings of isolation. Consequently, companies are now exploring hybrid models that combine both approaches. In contrast to fully remote setups, hybrid work offers greater flexibility while maintaining social connection. Of course, please keep in mind that real text in real life will not ever look like this. This text is specifically made for educational purposes, and it is filled with all those discourse markers. You can see the discourse marker in every single sentence in this text. In real life, it won't work like that. Okay? So, you can notice that each discourse marker signals the logical relationships between ideas. The paragraph uses 4 different functions: addition, furthermore, contrast, however, exemplification, for instance, and a result, consequently. And again, for contrast, in contrast, yeah? So obviously, the writing feels sophisticated and academic. It is not just a list of facts, yeah? But once again, in real life, it is a little bit too oversaturated. Basically, just to show you examples of those words in sentences, yeah? Here are some common mistakes. So, furthermore, he was late. No problem if it's a spoken language, yeah? In spoken language, you like you can't really show the comma, yeah, you can have a little pause, yeah, but once again, you can't really show a comma. In written language, please use a comma. Despite the rain, but we went. Basically, despite and but, they have kind of the same logic, yeah? Like, we don't really care that there is a rain, we're going to go. Yeah, there is a rain, but we still go. They basically have the same idea. Why do you need to have two things that have the same idea in one sentence? You don't. So just choose one. Yeah, just go with one of those. Whereas he is tall, so she is short. It is, once again, whereas and so. It has the same idea. It's all about the contrast. So why do we need two of the same meanings? I don't know. We can focus just on one. You can say he's tall, whereas she's short. So he is tall and she's short. Or for example, he is tall, so she's short. Yeah. As a result of, he left. As a result of what he left. You can leave and say just simply, as a result, he left, or as a result of something, he left, for example, as a result of argument, he left, or as a result of his leaving, something happened. It all really depends on the meaning that you want to say, yeah, that you want to explain. Consequently of this. Why is it consequently of this? We don't really need of this after consequently. We can just leave consequently, right? Yeah. And quick check. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Your task is to pause the video and choose the best discourse marker you believe works in this sentence, yeah? The best one you want. So I'm giving you 20 seconds starting right now. Please check, pause, complete your sentence. I'm going to drink a little water. I'm going to show you my jug. It's like my thermos. I'm silently correcting your English. I'm silently correcting your grammar. I'm sorry, and like a fancy cat. Yeah. Well, you guys, so your time is up. I really hope that you paused this video and completed the tasks, and let's check it out. So, she studied hard. Consequently, as a consequence, as a result, consequently, she passed the exam with top marks. Yeah? He's very experienced. Nevertheless, he sometimes makes basic errors. Yeah? So, like, he is experienced, but sometimes he still makes those mistakes. Many solutions exist. For instance, automation is one of the most effective. Yeah? For example, sales rose in Q1. However, profits fell. As a result, costs had increased significantly. Yeah? So, sales rose in Q1, but our profits fell. So basically, as a result, as a consequence, costs had increased significantly. And number 5, notwithstanding the delays, the project was delivered on time. So we don't really care that there were delays. It doesn't matter. The project still was delivered on time. We still completed everything. Great job, you guys! And the next one is a little speaking challenge. Could you build a cohesive paragraph? You can choose one of these topics and create 5-6 sentences using at least 4 different discourse markers from today's lesson. Option A, the advantages and disadvantages of social media. Option B, why learning English is important for Ukrainians today. Option C, the impact of technology in modern workplaces. Choose whatever one you want. Talk to someone about it. Talk to your friend, colleague, relative, family member, whatever you want. You can even record yourself and then listen to your speech. Yeah. You can even type it out in the comments, whatever you feel like. And the question for the comments. Share the paragraph, yep. And note, which discourse markers did you use? I mean, we all will say them, yeah? And did any feel more natural to you personally than others? Like, are there some discourse markers that you just simply prefer more than other discourse markers? Like, they feel more natural to you, yep? And the part 3 workbook, I am not going to show you any tasks in here. If you want to practice a bit more, go into our Telegram channel, scan this QR code, or type in a search bar the 13th stance. Yep, and you will be able to find our Telegram channel and get the worksheet in there. So I really hope that you're doing great, you guys. I really hope that you are taking care of yourself. Please stay safe, take care, and I really hope to see you next time. See ya! Bye bye!